Hello there. Hello there. Hello there.
Okay, so here's the issue. I want to play the new LEGO Star Wars game, except I have a broken controller, no money, no bitches, so I decided with my infinite wisdom I could create the entire LEGO Star Wars from scratch. I mean, honestly, how hard could it be? So to get started with this once-in-a-lifetime masterpiece, we're going to need a few tools to get the job done. Now, to collect all of our assets, we're going to be using an online website called Mechabricks. This is where I'm going to be borrowing all the assets for the game. As for game engine, we're actually going to be using Unity for this one. I'm just kidding. We're not using Unity. It's trash. Instead, we're going to be using the superior Chad Unreal Engine, created by gods given to man to vanquish this shit. That, and we have to use Unreal Engine because it has nanite features for the billions and billions of polygons, but you know, I'm not going to get into all that. We're also going to be using Blender to animate stuff, import bricks, and export stuff, and cry when it crashes.
You might have discovered you need help immediately.
Okay, I think we got all of our tools together, and now we can start making our spicy AAA quality game. And every great game starts with a... So for our basic controller, we're going to borrow some code from the basic third-person template. Now this looks like shit right now, but trust me, it gets better. We're going to hop into Blender, cook up some spicy animations.
Oh god, it's so good.
I'm talking idle, walking, jump, whatever the fuck this is.
So good and tasty.
Throw it back into Unreal, shake the mouse around, and after 2 hours you'll have something that looks like this. Now this is looking pretty good, but it's a bit boring. So we'll quickly add an AI sandbox mode flying character controller that allows you to play as God. This will ultimately make your AI praise you as the one true Lord. But you have to watch out though, because some AI will congregate and create a false God. This is no bueno, so we're gonna have to eliminate them real fast. Now it is unfortunate, but it is necessary to maintain mankind's future. So I added a gun.
From the dead, assholes!
And if this wasn't enough, I also decided to add a lightsaber.
Oh, Boba's got himself a lightsaber now. Oh, make it two. Oh, red and blue. When I put it together, what does it make? Purple rain!
And I know what you're thinking. Oh, Will, but LEGO Star Wars Saga has over 300 characters. What do you have to offer? Now, I may not have 300 characters, but I have 50. Hear me out. And a custom character creator. That's right. You can customize whatever the hell you want, because that was an option before. I don't know why they removed it. Why did you do this to us? Now 50 actually might not seem like a lot, but it adds up pretty fast. Like, there is way too many important characters in Star Wars. Like, everyone you can think of has a major role. Boba Fett, Darth Vader, Yoda, Jabba the Hutt, Princess Leia, Chewbacca, Luke Skywalker, Palpatine, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Ahsoka Tano, Padme Amidala, Darth Maul. Not this one. Jar Jar Binks. Okay, the point is there's a lot of Star Wars characters that really matter, and getting all of them is quite literally impossible, at least for me and my budget. I would like to take a moment of silence for all the characters I could not get into this game. But anyway, speaking of budgets, Raid Shadow Legends. We can't afford a sponsorship, but you know what we can afford? LEGO studs. That's right, guys. For only 20% off, you can not buy this game because I'll be put in jail for copyright and infringement purposes. Now, for the LEGO studs, I wasn't really sure what to do with these. You pretty much just pick them up right now and they just add to your stud counter and you have a bunch of money. That's pretty much all it is right now. Maybe in the future I'll add more. Let me know in the comments. Alright, so let's talk about vehicles. Based off what I've seen in the LEGO game, you can buy ships and weapons and land vehicles and so on. But we'll focus on like the whole buying and ship flying later. What we need to focus on is building the ships. In the original LEGO Star Wars, there would be certain objects that you would have to build up and create. I figured I'd spend like a couple, like, I don't know, 20 to 30 minutes. I mean, really, how hard could it be to just add some bricks being built, right? So after spending 12 hours, So after spending 12 hours researching and 4 hours in a Discord talking to random strangers, also Unreal Engine slackers, you guys are awesome, thank you for helping me out. But I was eventually able to come to a conclusion that I should be using Alembic file types. What the fuck is Alembic file types, you ask? Good question, because I have no fucking clue. It does the thing and it works. You put your animation in and you get a baked animation out. That's all I know. That's all I really want to know. And it works pretty well. There's only one slight problem. When playing back the animation in Unreal Engine, it tanks your FPS in half. So you could be running the game at 70 FPS and then just get cut down to 30 FPS. It only happens for a small amount of time when you're building the Lego, but after it's built, it will finalize and your FPS will go back to normal. So, is it necessary to have the Lego being built? No. Does it look cool as fuck and I spent way too much time on it, so I'm regretting taking it out of the game? Yes, yeah, yep. But now, since we have all these elements, we got vehicles, we got building, we got weapons and characters. This is all great, right? But there's one thing missing, and I can't put my finger on it. I just don't know what it could possibly be. It's environments. So for the environment, I did the same approach for basically every other Lego brick in this game. I would import it, nanite it, and that was working for smaller things. But when I moved on to bigger objects, such as mountains or houses or Death Stars, things got a little little goofy, a little weird. The program crashed every time, that's what I'm trying to say. But the entire time I was making this environment, I couldn't stop thinking about how TT Games, after all these years, couldn't make a Lego environment. Sure, they had Legos here and there, and even in their new game, a lot of the environments are built entirely out of Lego, but they're still very contained. And you would think with such a massive staff and so many people on hand that they would be able to build a game quite literally out of bricks, Lego bricks. But it's just not the case, and I'm wondering if that's just like a budget thing, if they just don't have the time, if it's too much processing power, what the case may be. I think that if they were to use something like Unreal Engine, we would get some pretty amazing results. The only thing I can think of is Lego Worlds that didn't do so well, and that could be the reason, because that was entirely made out of Lego and it wasn't really the best. Or maybe it's just a whole art direction thing. I don't know. I don't work for TT Games, but I would like to. If you're watching TT Games, I really enjoy your work. I'm actually a big fan. I'm not shitting on you. Please don't hurt me. So once I was able to nanite all the objects and throw them into the editor, I was able to quickly place them around and just start duplicating as much as I really wanted to. In fact, it almost seems absurd how many models and polygons I can have. It's a bit unreal. So at this point I started to run out of time and decided to slap some visual effects in it and call it good. While editing this video, I was able to slip some fun missions in there, which you'll just have to play the game to find out what they are. In conclusion, the game is free to play on my itch.io page. Feel free to check it out. And if you enjoyed the game or this video, please subscribe. We're almost to 100K. I cannot believe we're almost there. You guys are amazing and I appreciate you so much. I personally think this is one of my biggest projects to date. There's a ton of features, and I always say this in every video, but I really do want to continue making stuff for this particular game, especially this one, because it's so fun to just like add assets into a Lego world and just be able to build stuff. It really takes me back to my childhood. My hope is that people utilize the sandbox mode and create fun worlds. I think it'd be really cool to just be able to endlessly build as much Lego as you want, and using Nanite you should be able to do that. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video and game, and yeah, that's about it. See ya! Also, real quick, I just want to say a quick thank you to my Patreons, Wubnum, Darium, Power Core and DJ Spur.